나는 디지 저게 네 라신 주비게 동바이나 네 규단 제보 자와단 제비 자식의 남자 차사 태기레스 네 레균제 용구레 곰잡네 안 똑바지야 요래서다 예 노두스요레스 다 동바니 라신 주비 동바 많이 봐지 라신 주비바이나 아니 규단 제보 아니 직 남자 되게 말해 되네 지교와줘야 요 말해스 남자 되게 말해스 진짜 니네 인자 라신 주비 동바들 진짜 한 땡지게 남자 되게 오래 진짜 땡지게 남자 삼다 땡지게 남자 공바이나 한 델라 되네 라신 말도 동바이 또 투그래 한 땡네 남자 공바이나 한 델라 되네 하나 저기 되게 주야다 동하셔야 돼네 투고 오래스 인자나 한 저기 땡지게 남자 돌이야 네 samdaya di thole anji kana kana le cheba cha an bezu shi hore seti diren shoge di kor shi ro dang zam.
Good afternoon. So this morning we looked at the presentation of dependent arising and in relation to cause and effect. And we saw that if phenomena are empty of inherent existence, then causes can lead to results, and conversely results can come from causes. So the presentation of cause and effect can function if phenomena lack inherent existence. And similarly, through meditation, one's way of thinking can develop and change. But if, on the other hand, if phenomena were inherently existent, then they couldn't change because they would be existent by their own nature, and then nothing could be a cause leading to a result. And if a result were inherently existent, it couldn't come from a cause, so therefore causality or karma wouldn't function. And also then one wouldn't be able to develop one's mind, one would not be able to spiritually progress if phenomena existed inherently, because they would be unchangeable. So all of us wanting to experience only happiness and wanting to be freed from suffering, we can see through the presentation on dependent arising that because phenomena depend one on another and are not inherently existent, then we can develop, we can progress spiritually, meaning we can develop stable, lasting, uninterrupted happiness and reduce and eventually eliminate suffering. So that is the purpose, or the purpose of dependent arising, is through coming to understand reality, through reflecting on dependent arising, we can achieve lasting happiness and eliminate even the subtlest levels of suffering. So with this understanding, a wish to engage in not only in reflection on dependent arising, but to do so constantly, or consistently rather, will arise.
ane chiki cheba che nganzuki nisu yakwa haukuni keba di yegi ane sanyo jumnen delia tendige namja songa pe mas yakwa songsha sene ane ya ngauchu chiko re sechi andi kor ma shuyere.
We'll continue with the text where those who are wise, those who have both knowledge and realization, they praise Buddha Shakyamuni for having taught dependent arising.
Na tenjung dadelia 대치를 kyuki tenpa la tenjung tongwa lebar nga deyang kundu meba da ranshin gini yebe minse tsikti tisungwa.
That's the 13th verse. Therefore, in your teaching, seeing dependent arising is highly praised, since it is neither completely non-existent nor inherently existent.
Jidang 저게 다 동바니 세디 지금 라용도네 마 삼나라 가르코 버스네 동바니 라용도네 가르 동바세디 가르디기 동바세야 가르기 동바래랍나 강라야 되범 랑응원이 줍디긴 최지기 디 동바 되네기 마주바딜라 동바세 버래 강라에 뛰어보면 랑문 주바 데니기 마주바들라 랑문 주바디 매바 데라 동바시고 동바시들 남상 고야들 가고 그러면 아니 강라에 마도 랑문 주바디 요마레 선배 삼로디 동바 기시용도 나가서 삼나라 가르고 그러면 강라에 마도 랑문 주바디 요마레 선배 삼로디 고고 그래. 제가 강라에 마도 랑문 주비기 동바 매바들라 동바시고라 지나 먼저 라시 동바니 쓰리 삼나라다 네 강에 매바 동사로지 마삼바치 강라에 모두 랑원의 주비기 주바디 매바들라 동바세지 당서 된중라 기시용데 아니 아니엘이 디마송션지 동바시 삼다정아서 대신에 동바니 기시용데네 가르삼 당고라서는 강라에 모두 랑원의 주바디 In
this verse and throughout this weekend and the preceding talks, we've heard a lot this term emptiness often. So hopefully now when you're hearing emptiness, something, the meaning of this word emptiness appears to you or arises naturally in your mind. So to check that the right meaning is arising in your mind, what should one think of whenever one hears empty or emptiness? So it means that phenomena are empty of, or a synonym would be void of, inherent existence. Or they are empty of or void of existing through their own having their own nature, or existing through their own nature or their own characteristics. So when a phenomenon is said to be empty, what that means is it's empty of existing through its own self-nature. It's empty of being independent, or it's void of being independent. It's not independent. So this is the meaning that should come to mind when you hear the word emptiness. So it means that a phenomenon is not independent. It is not intrinsically existent or inherently existent, rather it is empty of or void of being inherently existent. So hopefully that is the meaning that comes to mind whenever you hear the term emptiness.
Gyudan Genjila Dune Druptika Jikje. Yan Gyudan Genjila Madubane, Shenjila Dune Shaba, Dune Drupa Chikla, and Denishria and because some logical word, Dende Lavionde, and Gyudan Genjila Dune Jumduva Jikje. And Gyudan Genjila Madubane, and Shenjila Dune Druptika Jikje, Shenjila Dune Shaba Jik, the Denish Shenjila Dune Shaba Mado, and the Res and Bedenishila, Lamsa Dene Lolia. We've
also, through this weekend and the preceding talks, heard the term dependence arising many times. So hopefully then this term now has meaning for you. And hopefully when you hear this term dependence arising, it means that a phenomenon is dependence arising because it arises in dependence on something other than itself, or in dependence on causes and conditions. So there are these two types of dependence arising, which encompass all phenomena, all existence. So all existence, all phenomena, are included in one or both of these two types of dependence arisings. Either that it is dependent on causes and conditions, or dependent one on the other. Or another way of expressing the second one is dependent on imputation. So hopefully this is what arises or appears in your mind when you hear the term dependence arising.
And then the Damagi, the Shogashi, the Jumzeshi, the Shoga detail, Dalia, the Sonsa, Rashi, Benedundam, Rangde, Ranjuba Mancheta, Chiruba, the Tende in the Rashi Jubares, killing Gore. Chesa, Rashi, Juba in the Tende said Yungure, Rashi Madune, Tende Yomares, Yumares, Consulas, Chesa, Tende in the Rashi Juba Chagores, Dinza. And just Denegi in the Honjugi, Rashi Dendigi sometimes Rashi Madu to two mares, Matu Jumsan Garelabna, Konzugi Delat in a Rashi Juba somebody shook Chilton Gores, Chesan Konzugi, Rashi Juba some Gores, Dish said Dilla or Dishikama Delia, Chisugi and Rashi Matuba did, don't buy the two mares, Matu Jumsan Garelabna, Konzugi. Dende inza Rashi Juba res like to us, Chesan Rashi Matumna Dende Yomares like that. Kimsen Dende some Tawa inza, Nekonjugi Rashi Matuba de Dotu Mares.
The first word of this verse, therefore. So this then relates to what we've been looking at in preceding verses when we were looking at the view of the non-prasangikas. So they have this mistaken understanding of dependent arising. And when they reflect on dependent arising, and they come to understand a phenomenon as being dependently arisen, they will then, that understanding will be used to strengthen their view that that phenomena exists inherently, that it has some kind of self-existence, some self-nature. Because their view is, if something is a dependent arising, it exists, and if it exists, it has to exist by way of its own nature. So therefore, when they reflect on dependent arising, it strengthens their grasping at inherent existence. And this, therefore, prevents them from realizing emptiness. Because if their grasping at inherent existence is strengthening, they cannot realize that a phenomenon is empty of inherent existence. And likewise, they believe that if a phenomenon lacks inherent existence, then there cannot be a dependent arising because it doesn't exist. If something lacks inherent existence, it is a non-existent and therefore cannot be a dependent arising. So here again, they cannot come to a correct understanding. So this term here, therefore, takes us back to what we were looking at previously.
The Kugi Dembala City, the Kugi Dembala City, Sanye Jumnindi, Kurangi, and the Donaliape, Chica, Chu, Mangoshu, Sungores, Dina Bene Jambada, Jugi, Chungu Lamirimba, Hada Muko, Watoya, and Lam de Yamen, Bene, Jamra Semkiata, Mitapocomiada, and Denetini Mangosungores, Tinaya Tarbotoya, and the Jigo. Kovi Yemi Samyada, and the Dunga Dembada, and the Kunjun Demba Sam Diada, on those Mangosungores, and then Sanji go Watoyalia, and the Janju Semda, Janju Semgoya, and then Jambada Zewa Comia, Janju Semgomia, and then the Persian to be Yamlengia, and the Tomba Nugor, Mango Show Sungores, Tesa, the name Mango Sung Yobadi, Sung Yorete, and then Dine Sung Yobadi, Bene, that when he Anzuki. Rajubada, the Nejerama, the Deba Nambigeda, the Chechi can the Jumdama, the Nigi Sumba della Dene, and the Jamni Sheda, Jimba the Surim Sivi, Yamlencha, Jamni and Yamnesha, and then Jamdro Simbio Comia, Mitawa Comia, and then Dunga Dembada, Kunju Dibio Comia, Yamlendige, and then Dustin and Yamlen Nangor, the Inea, Tombani Sedi, and then Rashi Matuba Tombadi, and then Haku to go Marwas or the Conza Haku Mares.
And in your teaching, this then refers to the vast array of teachings that the Buddha taught. And these teachings can be divided in many different ways. The sutras the Buddha taught can be divided in many different ways. And the division we are very familiar with is that in accordance with the capacity of the individual practitioner. So when we divide the sutras that the Buddha gave in terms of the capacity of the practitioner, then the being of a limited capacity, then they would be focusing on meditations such as impermanence and refuge and karma. And then beings of intermediate capacity, then they have the capacity to look in far more detail at the nature of cyclic existence, and they can come to see the that faults pervade cyclic existence in its entirety. Then for beings of the greatest capacity, then they are able to not only meditate on the topics that are common to the small and middling capacity being, but also on topics such as love and compassion and bodhicitta, as well as the emptiness of inherent existence, come to develop wisdom. And this topic then was presented in accordance with different philosophical tenets. So the Buddha taught it in accordance with different philosophical tenets, namely of the Vaibhashika and the Sautrantika and the Chittamadrans and the Madhyamakas. So these different tenet holders, or these holders of the different philosophical views, they can engage in almost all of these meditative practices. They can meditate on impermanence and love and compassion, bodhicitta, etc. But those who are not the holders of the view of the Madhyamaka Prasangika, they cannot come to a correct understanding of the emptiness of inherent existence. They can meditate on all the other topics that the Buddha taught, but they will not come to a correct understanding of reality, a correct understanding of the emptiness of inherent existence. So the non-prasangikas, they will not be able to come to a correct understanding of reality. However, all the other topics they can meditate on successfully. What the Buddha taught is that the root cause of the suffering in cyclic existence is this ignorance of self-grasping. And the method for abandoning this is to meditate on dependence arising or on selflessness in order to develop the wisdom realizing emptiness.
다진 마리바 동요 또 발라 네 덴디게 남자 디삼 다시 또 우두스네 덴디게 니서 하고 한데라 네 개바스 올라 개바 덴디게 하고 건 대수기 안에 개바디게 안 사여 줍는 데려 아데 결혼 게 덴디게 남샤 저게 탈바다 탐제 김묘 고방 토비알라 탑람 아니 바르두지 얘기 디바 안
그거나
바르두지 얘기 탈바다 탐제 김묘 토발라 바르두지게 바르두시에 왔으니까 계획적인데 이제 계획적인 조어의 가르쳐서는 라신이 두바 짐바레샤스 지나디 라신이 두바 짐바데 빠야라 안 동의도 불러도 검지 빠는마도 니마도 민두 대상의 결혼기 뱀마시게 약고 송샤스네 지나 대동의 또야라 탑람데 땡땡 남자 송와데 뱀마시 송샤스네 안델이야 개바남기 아니 바 지금 악주시고 해서 직니바디 땡중 통회 레버는 악세데 땡중 통회 레버는 악세 땡디게 남샤 대 공부할 때는 동유도 불러도 공부할 때는 다음에 다 라신 주바 짐바디 빵빵제는 빵 투구여바디 되네게 하고 그런 게 개바디 얘기 상여 좀 된들이야 안 땡디게 남자 송아디 뱀마세야 오래샤 선이야 아버지고 그래지래
The wise or the skilled or scholars, they praise Buddha Shakyamuni here for what he has taught, and in particular they praise him for identifying the various practices that one needs to engage in so as to spiritually progress towards the attainment of the various spiritual goals. So these meditations that were mentioned in the previous segment, but also that they praise the Buddha in particular, though, for having taught what or identified what the root cause is of being trapped in cyclic existence, as well as the technique for abandoning this. They have come to understand, through Buddha's teachings, that the root cause that keeps us bound within cyclic existence is this mind that is the ignorance of self-grasping, And it can only be eliminated through the cultivation of the mind that is completely contrary to that. And that's a mind of wisdom. And in particular, it's the wisdom realizing emptiness, or the wisdom realizing the emptiness of inherent existence. And the Buddha is further praised by these wise and skilled practitioners for having taught the most profound of techniques for realizing emptiness, namely dependent arising. So the line differentiating between those who can attain liberation from suffering, who can attain liberation from samsara, and those who are unable to, this line of demarcation is not in terms of the development of practices such as understanding impermanence or causality or love and compassion, but it is this understanding of the wisdom realizing emptiness. Because it's only through cultivating the wisdom realizing emptiness, or the wisdom realizing the emptiness of inherent existence, that one is able to eliminate the root cause of our suffering and attain liberation from suffering. So this is the demarcation. And those who understand this, in other words, those who have a correct view, they are the ones here who are praising the Buddha in the second line.
Rashing Juba Zimber, Zimbadi, Danganzuki, Kovi Zawa, Nyumoma, Chasan Zawa Di, Diba Mabana, da Tarba Totukumare, Sanjoko Totukumares, Roa, Chisan Dipayala Tonto, Gurela Roa, Chisan Tonyo To, and Janju Sim Gomne, Di Carcene Pantu Mare, and Jimmy Tonyo To, Carre, says Yoro Dangane, Janju Sim Gomne, and Mazukawashu, Sagoro was Pamba Yachimu to Gore, and dinner to go to Janju Sim Gomba, Gomne, Rashing Juba Zimbadi Meva, Sumatova Carre, says Nguru, and Jimmy Tonyo to be Shero Gomba, the Kimzankar, says Roda. You are Janju Sim Gomje, Rashing Juba Zimbadi, Meva Sumatova Carre, in Jimmy Meva Suela, Tonyo to be Shero Gomba Carre, says.
What we've been hearing here then is that it's grasping at inherent existence. This is what keeps us bound within suffering. And without abandoning this grasping at inherent existence, it is impossible to attain liberation from cyclic existence or enlightenment itself. So therefore one has to realize emptiness. One has to realize that phenomena are empty of inherent existence. So why is it that only through cultivating this mind of emptiness can one eliminate this ignorance? Why is one still encouraged to develop bodhicitta, but bodhicitta, for example, is unable to eliminate the ignorance of self-grasping? Because we have heard before that the mind of bodhicitta has many great benefits, including leading to accumulation of vast stores of merit. But why here is it being specifically said that one has to realize the wisdom realizing emptiness?
Bene midi pasho midi jigubare says Yoro, jigubare says Manzo Samnala, midi jigubare, sebe samlo shovaina. She's not the jigubare, sebe samlo di doyalia, meva soyalia, and Gana Sugore, Lana Midelia, Jamba than Zawagomna, jigubare, sebe samlo dotuguri besene, to go mare. And that's Semjan Tamjig Dondalia. Ko ane digi yoye dondalia ngi Geshe Thubten Rabten kaze sanjo goma thoba chi ngi Geshe Thubten Rabten ne nga zu jigo bare sabe do thu samlo do thu go mare je do ma do ba na jigo bare sabe samlo do ma do ba na nga zu gedi ina ane semlia mi di thong yo de odi ngam tra shung she na yo odi jigo bare sabe yo anza di nga zu le ji nga zu ne ba ji mo yo nga zu swe mi yo sembe she na da ngam tra ro ji yong gu ro ba 제가 지구벌에 선배 삼로데 마도 봐도 만zul이야 신나당 감자도 용구래 무디는 용구래 제산도 제가 지구벌에 선배 삼로데 도야라 안에 콜야 니지곰나 잠제곰나 디메가 차두고 말해 안에 디 코디기 용야 친구 만주 예산조고만 토벌 지긴 세배 만주 장슈sem으로 공변에 디메가 차두고 말와 다 안에 고 지구와 메바디 간스 지구벌에 선배 삼로데 간스 도구를 랍나 먼저 심주제제 고 지구와 레도 메르 제바지 심주제 김제도 심주제지 가sam직량도 심주제도 뭐냐 고 늘라 지구바 말아와다 멤버지다 마임버지리 지구벌에 삼대가 있나 세상도 심주제나 가sam직래 심주 망고 제도 다고 지구바 마임바된 가서 하고 용으로 어디고 지구와 레민도 선배 하고 요도 나도 지구벌에 선배로데 메와자로 그래 세상 가사 직래 미제 당보 지구벌에 선배 삼로도 도야라 가사 호롱을 삼다제 시호롱을 삼다제 디 지구버 말에 선배 삼로도 끼고 그러다 대 지구버 말에 선배 삼로도 끼나 그 지구벌에 선배 삼로도 메와자로 그래 세상 되네 인자 먼저 그 미치 지구벌에 선배 삼로도 도와라 콜라 잠바다 제와 장주섬 금나 메와서 두고 말해 세상 디 안에 간에서 메와서 그래서 먼저 제바제 심주제 지구벌에도 말에 심주제의 가슴질량 저기 그 지구 레민도 선배 통화도 지구 레샤 선배 랑솔에 어디 도로 와 배로지나.
Let's and try and answer this through an analogy, because what we've been hearing, what you've just been hearing now and we've heard previously, is that no matter how strong a mind such as bodhicitta one has, this is not able to eliminate our ignorance of self-grasping. And to understand why this is, let's take an illustration of where we believe someone to be a terrorist. Now, in actuality, this person is not. They've been falsely accused, but this we don't know. But we believe that this person is a terrorist. So we have this view of this person, and when we think of them, or if we were to meet them, we can imagine fear would arise within us. So how do we eliminate this view of this person that, unbeknownst to us, is mistaken? Well, if we generate, let's say, very intense love and compassion for this person, we certainly will feel love and compassion for that person despite believing they are a terrorist. But we will still have this opinion that they are a terrorist. That will not be harmed, no matter how strong our love and compassion is. And if we develop the love and compassion to the point where we take responsibility for the welfare of each and every sentient being, and we commit to striving wholeheartedly to attain enlightenment for the benefit of others, and engaging in extensive acts of accumulation of virtue, so that we can become a Buddha for the sake of others, whilst we are accumulating vast stores of merit and engaging in many virtuous deeds and have powerful virtuous minds, none of these will harm our opinion or our view that this person is a terrorist. And we will still feel fear and have a sense of danger when we even merely think of this person, let alone meet them. So from this illustration, we can see that no matter how strong one's love and compassion and even the mind of bodhicitta is, it cannot eliminate the view of this person being a terrorist. The only way that we can eliminate this view is if we engage in analytical meditation. We investigate. And if we investigate this situation, we will come to realize the truth of the situation, and our mistaken view will fall away. We'll come to see that this person is not a terrorist, then our mistaken view is eliminated, and our resulting fear of this person will immediately dissipate. So the only way we can eliminate this mistaken view in relation to this person is through investigation, because this is a mind that is completely contrary to the wrong understanding. And it's through investigation we can come to understand the actual situation.
니가게 믹서디 미치를 미러 유지를 미치로와 지상 시지 당보 지구바레 선배 삼로치로와 니바제바전 지구바레 메뉴 선배 삼로치로와 딘 삼로 딘니가게 믹서도 술미에서 가사 찌르미디요 가사 찌르 시지라 미제 아니 당보 레 선배 삼로치 다 주주 제바전에 시지라 미지네 아니 디레 메뉴 선배 삼로도 한국도 딘니보 삼로 니보디 시지라 미네 미바 가사 찌르 미제 진당 뭔가 차소래 진당 가와 진당 가와 차소래 제가 진당 가와자 라신이 두번 가서 디 심주 제제 안디 안에 가서 지구바 레민도 선배 삼로 저러와 디 삼로 될 줌젠 망보여 공원에 차려요 대지 지구바 레 선배 삼로 될 줌젠 야다바 요말고 다가 미라구도 세야다 생윤나 고소사 데네 삼다 코소소 도고사지 레 삼바마도 데니 당고 삼로 될 줌젠 야다바 잡딘 야다바 세마요 말에 다들 심주 제제 제바 제제 어디 레민도선 하고도 될야 아니 디 잡딘 줌제 약보러와 인상코 채마레 디 곰발레 띠니 디 통요도 아니 지부리 도토고래 지래
네. Den shogetik de kopolengin. Den shogeri yekutupin. There we go. Okay. So here there's one person, and this one person is first seen as a terrorist. Later, that same person is seen as not a terrorist. So the object hasn't changed. It's one person. On that one person, first terrorist is labeled. Later, not terrorist is labeled onto the same person. So that's the first point. It's the same object. But what brings us to this point where one can, in a manner that is sincere or genuine, change how we view that same person, who from their side is not doing anything different. All the change is happening over here on the side of the subject. This is done through a correct analysis, correct investigation. So the mistaken view that this person, for example, is a terrorist, this has come about independent on causes such as, for example, one hears things in the news or rumors, or one is subject to other people's opinions. And one accepts this and accepts these opinions and has an opinion or a view on this person. But this is not what would be called a valid cognition. A valid cognition would come through first thinking about what one has heard to the point where some doubt is generated. And then one engages in the process of investigation continuously until one comes to a completely different understanding. And in this way, one develops an awareness that is directly contradictory to our habitual way of grasping, or our develops an awareness that is directly contradictory to the object or the mode of apprehension. But to maybe put that in a nicer way, through first developing doubt and then investigating, we develop an awareness that is directly contradictory to how we habitually see things, how we habitually relate to this object. And this only comes about through investigation.
Ranshin Juba Zimbare, Sembiki, Ranshin Jubare, Simba Shiorvadanga, Ranshin Jubare, Simbadi. Tis di doyala, and Jambadan Sewa Kombeki, di Meva Sutugo, Marasano, Kola, Zindan Kawachago, Gigi, Koza Ranshin Jubare, said the Kala Motto of Korongwini, Juba, Yores, Korongwini Jubares, and Zingorva. Tis Jambada Sewa. When you do a Maria Sango Marwa, Ningje Sambeke, Dumada Dana Sambachida, and Dewada Dena Sambamado, Quay somebody the doctor, some Dangomara, Madame Azako Meva, Comeva Sutumares. Tisanda, Dimeva Sebala, Tendy Tadi, the Consul, Russian Drubana, Zimbana, Gala, Motoba, Rangon, Drubana, Due, Mindupa, Chepache, Tendy, sometimes Chepachin, Gazam Chilia, Gala, Rangon, Druba, Meba the Toyn Codes. She's not Toyn was the Toyn do. The Jing Adi, Gala, Rangon, Druba Zinderua. She's not that Pangadi Lanicanis to Rangon, Drubana, Zimbana, Due, the Chepache, then the Gazam Chilling Adi, Gala, Durba, Meba, Rangon, the Druba said. So you made against Tongo, and Dini, the Dambo Samlodi, and the Gasa, Nala Miche, and the Rang Galamado, Rangoni to Batindua. Niba Chevacha, Hago and the Miel and Nala Miche, Nadi, Chevacha, Gala, Rangoni to Batsaw, Mevaton. Jazakoni, Mikpa Chile Miche, Zindamoso gave Lochadia.
The youngest
Mikpa Miche and Niga di Zindamoso, Chigdir, Gasa, Chile, Gasa, the Rashin to Barella Gorova, Chigdir Rashin to Marella Gorova, such as a Mikpa Chile Miche, Zindamoso gave Lochadia.
If we think of a person, and the way the person will appear to our mind will be as being inherently existent. Just like any phenomenon appears to us, it appears as being inherently existent. So if we try and eliminate this mind that grasps at inherent existence as being this mind that grasps at inherent existence, we try and eliminate it through minds such as love and compassion. This will not be effective. Because the mind of love and compassion are not contrary to the ignorance of self-grasping. They do not cancel each other out. They are not two minds that are contradictory. To put it then technically, the minds of love and compassion and the mind of ignorance of self-grasping, they are not contradictory in their mode of apprehension or their way of apprehending the object. So they are not contradictory in the way they apprehend their object. These minds of love and compassion, they serve to generate a strong wish within us that may all beings without exception experience only happiness and be freed of suffering. So of course these are wonderful and important minds to generate, but the way they apprehend their object is not contrary to the way ignorance apprehends an object as existing inherently. So in order to be able to eliminate the ignorance of self-grasping, or the ignorance that grasps at an object as existing inherently, as we've heard, the method is to investigate reality, to look for this inherently existent object, to investigate in the way we've had described to us several times. Through dependence arising, we come to the point where we see this object that appears to be self-existent, I cannot find it. This object that appears to be independent, I can't find it. And we just come to an understanding or a realization of emptiness, not being able to find any inherent existent object at all. So that is the position. So in that case, we are developing a mode of apprehension or a way of apprehending that is contrary or contradictory to this ignorance of grasping at inherent existence. So just to say, because there's a new term here that Genna is using. So the term is the awareness that is directly contradictory to the mode of apprehension. The awareness that is directly contradictory to the mode of apprehension, or to put it in maybe English we can relate to a bit easier, an awareness that is directly contradictory to a habitual way of apprehending.
Rashin Juba Zimbi Lodi Dotu Gores, to Koni Mikbachila minutes in the Mosaki Lodella Gurva, the Neza Dotu Gores. Yasamo Chiglidwa, and the Rashin Juba Zimbi, Rashin Juba Zimbi Lodigi, nga rashi madruba re se lo dia do thu re be la na
Kona de yang kegala.
nga rashi druba jin lo shyo wa nga zo da de gar shi was nga rashi ni madruba ha go kan lo to be chama digi nga rashi druba re se lo di ma me ba su thu go de la wa da chu druba ji li ya na nga rashi ni druba jin bi ge lo digi lo shyo wa digi ya na nga rashi ni madruba re se lo dia me ba su thu go wa la na ro thu go re be la ne di thu go ma re se
Derenge kotumsa. Di dokpe kolenga kotumsa.
da de nga zo gar shi ba se ne nga de rashi druba je ba je gansam ji la nga rashi druba mindu sam be lo di gi ro wa di lo di gom yo de gom ga je gom yo de lo de la de ne nga rashi druba re sam be sam lo di me ba su thu go re che re thu go re ro wa da yang ge chen da ge druba da de nga rashi druba re sam be lo di gi nga rashi druba re mindu sam be lo di me ba su thu go re be la na de pa chu su jo ro wa
Kona di dokpe de mi sempre ki dokpe de ngani gotum.
Gotum bia mindu a ben dirwa. Rashi druba re sambe lo digi rashi druba ha go wi chema di rashi ma druba to be chema digi rashi druba re sambe lo di me ba su tu bu do wa. Da rashi druba re sambe lo di jin dirwa. Digi rashi ma druba re sambe ma druba ha go kan chema di me ba su tu gu re be je.
Ali di lokto ki yang dak beta de me ba su tu ge. De
go. Ji li ro wa de.
Okay. So what we've been hearing now again is that in order to eliminate the mind that grasps at the self as existing inherently, we need to develop a mind that's contrary to that, the mind that realizes that the self does not exist inherently. And that is because they have these two minds have a directly contradictory way of apprehending. So therefore, the one can destroy the other. So that's what we've heard. Now someone may ask the question, but if then the wisdom realizing the lack of inherent existence can eliminate the ignorance grasping at inherent existence, then can it not also work the other way, where the ignorance grasping at inherent existence eliminates the wisdom realizing emptiness? So can it not work the other way?
Kolya Jumzen Gayomar, Jumzeyomar. Koran Zia de Garson Kololia, Nango de Gala, Gala Emado Rangun to Boys Nangorba. She said, now some Zimba Remato, mixing Jumzen sometimes Gayomar, Jumzes Gayomar. There's no call it Jabdin Semayomar, Koron Zindu Loshima.
Kakaritsema?
Jabla, Ropa Yahu, Jumzen Yada Yomares, Jumzen Yada Yomares. That nga said Ranji Juba Re, Marespa, Jeba Che, Yenma, Rakwan Ma, Jebachin, Odia, Rim, the Samaji, Dening, Eva, Gansam Chilla, Remindo, Sempiki, Nevani, Sema, Semia Delia, Jumsen Yada, Rashi, Madubadi, Mayimbi, Jumsen Telepe, Mambo, Jumsen Yada, Jumse, Mangochin, how was you, Jumsen Mambo, how was in Semia Toba Inza? Come never to two mares. Then Korongi Pa never to go to Pacho to two members to Mares. Bendigo to come to the Javine. Come to Javina.
Come to Labla?
Come to Lana, the Tim Gal Roger, come to Jayorwa. Cherry Jayorwa. Jumse Mango, you can dig Giglia, Dire Lamato, Jumse Mena, Jig Jumsa, di Mare, my Jumse, Jumse, you, Diana. And the Kotoburma, but you dig the Toyamara, Jumse Mehani. On Dinaji, I think I don't you to be Rashi, Maduboto, but Sema Digi, Kocheba, Jumse, Mambo, sometimes Jumse Yada, sometimes Tame Tashala, Rashi, Madubo, Resha, some Toba in Nubachim, but top den Charlie. Jig the Nuba Yomara, Jumse Yada Yomara. Don't you to be somebody who never said to Remato, Rashi to be Zimbabwe, don't you to be somebody never said to go, Marriage.
The answer then, in brief, to this doubt would be that the ignorant grasping at inherent existence cannot destroy the wisdom realizing the emptiness of inherent existence. And the reason for this is that the ignorance that grasps at inherent existence is not based on any valid reasons or any correct reasons. All that happens is that phenomena appear to us as being self-existent or independent, and our mind of ignorance grasps at it or believes it. So our mind believes that phenomena exist in the way that they appear, and this is contrary to reality, so this mind is called an ignorance. But it's not based on any reasoning. Its foundation is completely flimsy. Whereas the wisdom realizing emptiness, this is based on reasoning. And the stronger this wisdom is, the more varied and stronger the reasoning will be. The wisdom realizing emptiness comes about through investigation, through analysis. And when this has been done repeatedly over a sustained period, then two things are achieved. One, investigation is done from many vantage points. So one investigates different objects from different points of view. That's the first. And the second, one does that same analysis again and again. So if one investigates repeatedly over a sustained period, one investigates from many different points of view and different objects, as well as doing it repeatedly, so the habituation becomes very strong. And that means all these many reasons which are giving rise to wisdom, they become ever stronger, leading to the wisdom growing in strength. So this wisdom, which is based on correct reasons, is very different from the mind of ignorance, which is not based on reasons. It just believes what appears before it. And when the wisdom is developed to a point where it becomes a valid cognizer, then it certainly cannot be shaken at all by a mere wrong appearance. So if this, another way that we can understand this is if you think of a situation in a courtroom, and if the lawyers for the Crown are presenting many reasons why the accused did what they're accused of, and the accused just says, it wasn't me, and presents no reasoning at all, but just says, it wasn't me, then it's unlikely they're going to be found not guilty, because on the one side there is this mass of reasoning or evidence based on proof, so reasoning, and the other is not based on anything concrete at all. So this is similar to the process of wisdom as against to ignorance. And again, in this verse, Buddha Shakyamuni is being praised by the wise for having taught the wisdom realizing emptiness that can be cultivated through understanding dependent arising, and thereby completely eliminate this ignorance of self-grasping, the cause of all our suffering.
단다 이진예 셰바 지바 또 두고 말해 그래서 건설이야 라신 주버 짐베 짐바디 삼로 슉침보래스 진짜 라신 마루는 최근에 제 매가 차로 그랬음 거래스 진짜 땡데이나 라신 주고래나 라신 주고래스 거래스 디네 현장 건축이 땡데 삼다제 라신 마루바디 또 두고 말해시래.
Look at the rest of this verse, since it is neither completely non-existent nor inherently existent. Let's just remind ourselves then of this view of the non-prasangikas. So they believe that if something exists, it has to be self-existent or inherently existent. So therefore, when they reflect on dependent arising and they come to an understanding that phenomena are dependently arisen, then they believe that if a phenomenon is dependently arisen, it exists, and if it exists, it's inherently existent. So therefore, they cannot come to an understanding of emptiness of inherent existence because they believe phenomena exist inherently. And when they meditate on dependent arising, this just serves to strengthen their belief in self-existence or inherent existence. Because when they see that one thing arises independent on something else, it's clear it exists, and if it exists, it has its own nature. It's inherently existent. So therefore, they are unable to come to see that phenomena lack inherent existence.
다 되니기 아니 개발은 이제 나와래 다 건축이 라신 주버 땡데 삼다 라신 주버 킬링에 되게 돈이 또 두고 말해 송거로 와 되네 인자나 마음속이 돈이 거기 녀모바 빠야다 안 상주고 토와라 라신 모두 라신 주버 짐짐바 빵구고래 디빵바다 돈이 또 고래 제가 되네 인자 돈이 또에 탑라야 땡지게랴 제바 제고래 삼다 제바 제고래 제가 제바 있나 아니 남식이 채나 뒤수 찍려야 아니 라신 마주바세디 또 두고래서 송거로 와다.
Rinpoche then is pointing out here again how the non-prasangikas, because of their strong habituation and their strong belief that phenomena exist inherently by their own inherent nature, they are unable to realize emptiness, remembering that emptiness means empty of inherent existence. Which means if they are unable to realize that phenomena are empty of inherent existence, they are unable to eliminate the root cause of our suffering, the ignorance of self-grasping, and thereby they are unable to attain liberation from suffering, let alone enlightenment. However, this is possible. The elimination of the ignorance of self-grasping and the attainment of liberation and even enlightenment for those who have a correct understanding of reality, those who hold the prasangika view.
어디 라신 주바래 해야지 땡데 라신 주바래 삼제 제바 마시 샤샤바네 또 두고 말해서 세상도 제바 마시나 너를 침부 차고 그래서 세상 제바 제나고 가한디 가이니 니수를 준비해야 남사 대리야 제바 제야다 모이니서 가르에서 심주 제바나 내 세보하고 두고 그래서 세상 저기 제바 마제바이나 대리 어디래 디래서 비 제바 마제바지 다가라 인샤샤 제대베나 안 대리야 안에 교인 침부 연구를 거로 와다.
Die Könde Yanke?
Kön Chimbu Yungures. Notre Chimbu Chagres.
Notre Kari.
Di re slam je di indama jeva majeva di re samjavana and then Notre Chimbu Chagres. Chesa dela di re samba main baje re do mindu karchesha chidu gumsen samta jeva chane and jeva chegores.
This that is being presented here, we need to understand it in the following way, that not only is liberation possible for those who have the correct view, but that liberation is only possible for those who have the correct view and then use that understanding in analytical meditation. They investigate. If one doesn't investigate reality, one will not come to understand reality. If one does not investigate, one will continue to accept that phenomena exist in the way that they appear, that the way that phenomena exist inherently, which is how they appear to us. If we don't investigate, we will not come to see that this is not how phenomena exist, and thereby we will stay trapped in samsara.
Dini inzang di rowa dang ne mi chige jigo ro shila na da jigo ro mi jigo ba dini jigo se joro wa da dini ge jigo miri chigi na ne mi jigo ba cha so ba da je do o di mi di cha sa jigo ba re la na na no ri chim cha go wa bene dini inzang dina de mi di su na le jigo yin ge yo re mai ge mong go ro wa da ma re yo re je sang an ju gi o den 관주 미디 지구발에서 라면도 차상을 야로지 임바로시 시시하거와 세상은저야 제발에 지구발 차도 지구발 둘라데 어디 가르레샤 수레샤 수레 차상나는 두미도 제바나 차상 마임바 디나데 차상 지구 마임바 가시미 야보여바 용구로와 니네 하고 두고로와 다고 지구발 인간데 미디레네 람상한 쪽에 넘기네 제바 마지나 나서 배 독자레베서 콩시불 콩을랑거와다 세상은 저기 땡땡에 삼다 콩을랑 제바 제나 안델이야 안에 거 지구가 제발에 거 김전 가르치는 제발에 해야다 제발에 거 안지기 셈버 그런 게 따와 지기 따위 돈에 따와 차보지지 디 따와 디제 진짜 디엔자 나세야디 숙침부여 바래 제가 나요자 안데 간주 철로 간주 미릭 세야디 리고로 제가 데니시 리고 제가 간주 미릭 뇌고도 간주 미릭이야 바시 지구도 세네 아니 바 현달에 뇌비기야다 제가 된도 세 가상 셰바 나니 제바지 간주 미릭스 된 간주 삼라디 가월리거든 제가 가세 가라시 두바틀리도 제가 되는 인자 아니 가라시 두바지면 요모바 디기 인젠다 랑기 초라야 착바다 생이 초라 시 콩로 계제 디기 견지기도 섬제 근데 섬다요 네 미릭 대 닥쳐제도 되는 대찬에 미릭 다보 미릭 라그라 미릭 따와래 시로 제사디 미릭 라다 미릭 세데 삼로데 가원 리고레 때도 나보 나시베 나 세죠로다 나서 삼로데 메나 라요 말와 제사 나시베 삼데 리고도 제사 나시베 삼로데 간데 제샤라도 나 세디 강라요 랑문에 주바 나시 디나와 나신 진되겐 나 삼로 디레샤스 제사 디기 찐제네 아네 ngay mirik, ngay chulu, ngay tawa sadliya. An delya, an ngay chulu nugudu, ngay mirik nugudu sam kongla laji, shenle nubi ye yunga, chasa dene chi yungudu. Dene yunga sa, chasa nga sibi zimba del liudu, nga sibi zimba di lo no chu lokshe res. Chasa di kenjin ligo re, chasa mi korongla ka yo ma re, nyingche sempi samlo di, chasa dene ki unga leba yanza, mi korongla ya rangwa mindus, 가르스는 거기 나서 가지 숙심부 디원게 샹왕도 유르제 아니 네버기야다 강아데 딜리도 셈베 삼레도 미딜레 코르마라제 미딜리아다 라오미도 닝제 셈베 삼레 닝제로 지레기 제투부로와.
So when we talk about selflessness or the lack of inherent existence, we often talk in quite a general way, and then this way of thinking we need to apply in meditation to our own experiences, and in this way we come to a deepening understanding of emptiness. So to take then a more topical example right now, and that of terrorism. So if one comes to a view that a particular group of people is pervaded by terrorism or the views of terrorists, then this is a view that arises in our mind. So there's a view, if it arises in our mind, that sees a particular group of people in a particular way, then this appears to us. Then this should be investigated and sought out. And such an illustration should be quite easy to dispel, because within any group there's a great variety. Groups are not uniform. There's great variety. But this is an illustration of how we need to use our investigating ability that we develop as we engage in looking for the self in a variety of situations. And then if we think about people who hold what in the world we consider to be these extreme views, then we think about, so where does this come from? When they grasp at a superiority of a race or a religion or a philosophy, then we see that this is going to come down to the mind of self-grasping. For this individual, from their mind of self-grasping, this ignorance of self-grasping, the grasp at the self as existing inherently, comes a grasping at a race that they identify with, or a religion they identify with. And we see this relationship of dependency, how from this wrong view, these other views arise. And so therefore, the very basis of this line of thought is mistaken. And then from this they engage in a variety of very harmful actions. So this mode of investigation that we speak about in each class, this is something to apply in many different situations, to analyze and investigate, looking for truth. And when we're thinking about individuals, we see that when they are under the influence of their afflicted minds, that they have no freedom. They are completely lost within the power of their own afflicted minds and engage in activities which lead to the accumulation of great non-virtue and future suffering. So this mode of investigation that we speak about regularly in these classes, it's for you to develop this within yourself and apply it in many situations. And that brings us then to the 14th verse. Non-dependence is like a sky flower. Hence, there is nothing that is not dependent. If anything were existent by its own nature, it would contradict dependence on causes and conditions.
남가 바나가라에 메도 예지 메도 샤 요마로 가서 텐사가 사지 요마로 사 요마로 메도께서 사지다 면서 진짜 디네자 강라야 텐사 메데게니 메도 바나길이야 메도 제답세게 사제다 추다 류다 가메반자 네 메도 민두 진짜 나 바나라 메도 민두 와서 메바디 가서 텐사 요마로 와서 비디나시 최근에 주협에는 현실을 뛰고마다 마디바디 용서요 말해 현재 뛰는 거래 뛰고 그래 지금
지금 담보다니까
지금 담보지고 마디 뛰면 남게 메도 신세.
As we've been hearing, all phenomena are dependent. So they can dependent on causes and conditions, and or dependent on other, or dependent on imputation. There is nothing that is not dependent. So here then we see in this first line a sky flower referred to. So a sky flower, or a flower in the sky, this is something that doesn't exist. It's not possible for there to be a flower in the sky. Because a flower, of course, is dependent arising, depends on many causes. And in the sky, there's only one cause that's there, and that's heat, but there's no soil, there's not enough water, etc. So there are no flowers in the sky. So this, then, is a non-existent. And there is nothing, in the second line, hence there is nothing that is not dependent. Or we can even express it, and there is nothing that is inherently existent.
and Yudan Yen, said Yoyo Mares, Chesantini Kawares. Ganlama Rang Mene, Juba Dedang, Yudan Yen Shan, Dubani de Kawares, Shanla, Dubaina, Rangone Maduba Shinkure, Rangone Drubna, Yudan Yen Shala Maduba Shinkures.
And the third and fourth line is very clear. If anything were existent by its own nature, it would contradict dependence on causes and conditions, because if something is existent by its own nature, or it's self-existent or inherently existent, as we heard last night, what that means is it's not dependent on anything else. It's not dependent because it has its own inherent existence, its own inherent nature, and therefore it's not dependent on anything else. It's not dependent on causes and conditions. And that's what's said clearly in these lines. If anything were existent by its own nature, it would contradict dependence on causes and conditions. Now maybe there's a question. So we're hearing here that everything that exists is a dependent arising, and it exists either as dependent on causes and conditions, and or dependent on imputation, or dependent on something other than itself. So if that is the case, then what happens in relation to emptiness? So we heard again last night about meditating, looking for the self, and we investigate and investigate, first in the physical aggregate, then in the mental aggregates, and we come to find there's no inherently existent self. The self is empty of being inherently existent, and it's just an appearance of emptiness. So that emptiness, what is that dependent on?
대통은 셈바데 맨나 동이도 말라. 지산 데네인자 동반이디 술팅고레스네 제바 제제 강점질라 랑지 마주버 또베 셈마델라 덴바레스. 지산 셈마델 팅고레. 지산 셈마델라 덴네 고 동이도 여바레. 셈마디기 마송나 델라마 맨나 동이도 여 말와. 베능아도 잘라로 라제 세제 지 야네 디통야 어디도 좀 하고건 셰바지여나 잘라디디 요래 요르와. 하고 간 셰바드 메네 민두스 잘라 요요 말와 제가 미망고 소소 지구 잘라 라제 소소세 소소기 통하게 어디두스 하고 간 셈마질려서나 어살라 소소기 잘라디 두라 그러 요래라 그러와 소소기 하고 진에 제직 소소기 그냥 마통 봐 있나 하고에 디두스 셈마디 메러 말아도 그냥 잘라디 민두 제인데 그냥 예마서 민두라 그러와 아니 로바지 제로지 레제 로바지 제제 그냥 마통나 데니 민도스로와 지사 민도로와데 지사 데니게 로바지게 제제 어디게 로바 어디에 두어 된바나 로바지게 통외 하고 건 체마질레데 지사 잘라데 여바 샤송 니로 싫어다 지사 동반이세 제바제 동상지 또베 체마디기 아니 여바 하고 그래 저 체마 될라티니 동이디 될라 땜바 체마 될 땜바래 체마래 땜데 여바 차바 체마디 매나고 여바 샤요 말해.
We go through this process of investigation, like was mentioned last night, investigating, looking for this inherently existent I that appears to the mind. We don't find it, and we come to an understanding of emptiness of inherent existence. The I does not exist inherently, it's empty of inherent existence. So then we have an understanding or realization of emptiness. So there's an object of emptiness. And this object of emptiness is dependent on the valid cognizer, the mind, that is realizing it or that finds it. So therefore, the emptiness that is found in meditation is a dependent arising and is dependent on the valid cognizer, that particular mind, that finds it or that realizes it. So therefore, when the emptiness is a dependent arising, dependent on the valid cognizer that finds it. So let's say we're looking for something in our room, and we look all over for it, and we don't find it. We don't have it. It's not there. So there's no consciousness apprehending the object. Don't have it. We can't say it's there. We can't sell it. We can't borrow money against it. Don't have it. And if a friend comes and looks for the same object and also doesn't find it, well, we can't take it down to the pawn shop. It's not there because we have no consciousness finding it. But if we search further, and either we find it or our friend finds it, as long as there's a consciousness finding it, there it is. Then we can say it's there. So similarly with emptiness, when it's being when emptiness is found by a mind, or in this case a valid cognizer, then that emptiness is in dependence on this valid cognizer. But it needs to be in dependence on a mind. Without being in dependence on a mind, then there wouldn't be emptiness. This emptiness.
Dadidi Lobsang that Jerum Ching Anzolia Labsha Garanangora Labna Anzuki Jizang Anzu Anchaza Ya Chik Koala Matar was Dada Bardo and Anzu Koa Duan Yon Dugati Paricevare and Anzu Nyomongi Pamadovache and Di Kinchigores. Zada Nyomo Japan, dear Pamatova Karajes and Nyomongi Zevi Gudi Dazi Maripas, Tenzi Maripas Sachires, Rashin Tuba. Chesnan did. Di yobanza del tena ju yomo je din ko wal ko dunga chasa deli gore chena deni enza an nga ju ge di meba su ko zai wi ge da sen mari meba su de meba su ko banza san yu jim nen di gi dong yu do ge tablom la tian de sun sha ba de ane su su ge nga ju ge deni ge ya ko san yu jim nen di gi san yu jim nen de ko rong ge kien nyam yong to ne nga ju ya zewa chene ane ma tablam sun sha ba nga ju ge ya del ya beje 당고 그래서 제사된 안주기 베제 담아도 나도 경치 뭐라 그래서 디네 장은 주기야 된지기 도박이야 탑람래 베제 지고래 손으로 와도 제사 디네 인자 디네도 베 탑람래 베제 제래야 또 주기 군노래야 아니 주기 군노도 야고치 고고로 와 제사 대안에 심제 랑 다들 봐도 코알 타고도 제가 라신 사마 코알 타고 랑 지부 타라 지금도 제가 현심전 차상 코알 타고도 제가 제인자 코알 마타바네 대화 용무민도 아니 강아 세투민도 제가 디네인자 디기 주야다 디기 주고도 강아 세고도 제인장이 야 현래 펜버두기 선배 삼로 다네 아주 디삼네디 다 계신보래 디네 자심제 탐제 등의 산조고바 토벌 지기 선배기 장슈 셈스 고메아타 안 저기 이메리리아 디네 삼다 안 디던달이야 장슈 셈 곰제 등의 산조고바 토고디야 요고 토고디 토발라 제사 람냠는 제야데 장슈 셈 지부 곰바 삼지다 산조고바 톱투사 말에 제사 녀모 방고엔자 동유도비 셰라데 마돈데 동마돈 탑미두 디도에 돈달이야 된지곰 제바 지기 삼다제 저기 안두신의 삼다 제바 제야다 근데 안에 저기 다 라마다 이담리아 소아답쟁이 된지게 남자들이 지기 야고 도투하다 안에 요거 도투하게 산지에도 건축이 진일라브르지 세지야 두시는 아주 네게죠 주야다 되는 제바나 저기 다 냠레제 된다도 두고와 디네자 디니기 강요해 제디 베주치 오레사디다 니링이가 돌롭싱 랍제디 디난고로와 디네 장을 주인의 디토래야 안지게 삼다디 게치모 체고로와.
And what we've been looking at this weekend is we've been Geshe Thubten has been reminding us again that the reason that we remain trapped within these suffering realms of cyclic existence is because we haven't abandoned our afflicted minds. These minds of attachment and anger and pride and jealousy still arise readily within us and torment us. And this is something that we need to come to understand, the suffering nature of cyclic existence. And then furthermore, we need to analyze a little deeper than that to come to understand, truly understand the cause of this. And the cause of all our afflicted minds is our ignorance of self-grasping. And when we have truly or actually identified this, that there's the ignorance of self-grasping that binds us within cyclic existence, then the strong wish will arise within us to eliminate this, to get rid of this cause of all our suffering. And so this, we've had a lot of knowledge presented to us over this weekend, as well as how to cultivate this in meditation. So we in this life have attained a remarkable opportunity. We have attained a precious human rebirth. We have met the Dharma and a spiritual friend. We have gained incredible knowledge, as well as how to integrate that knowledge within our way of thinking. So not to utilize this opportunity we have in the best way possible would be a great loss. So therefore, it's my sincere hope that everyone takes the knowledge that has been cultivated over, as we've looked at these 14 verses, and you add this into, or include this into your daily meditation practice. And then to add one more part to this, is that in order to attain one's desired wish to be freed of suffering, which is a wish we all have, and if your wish is actually to become a Buddha, whichever goal one holds, one needs to generate a suitable motivation. One needs the appropriate motivation in order to direct the virtue that you accumulate in that direction. So it's my hope that we do take the time each day to meditate on emptiness like has been described here, but also to generate bodhicitta within ourselves, and set sincerely the wish to attain enlightenment for the sake of others as our heartfelt goal. Because this wish for happiness is something that we all have, and the wish to be freed from suffering and difficulties is something that is shared by everyone. If we can reflect on this repeatedly, then an overwhelming desire will arise within us to be of real benefit to others who are trapped in suffering and have no means to escape because they lack the knowledge that we have. And such a motivation can serve as a powerful impetus for us to put great effort into our studies and our meditation on our studies. And in this way, if we meditate repeatedly over a sustained period on this knowledge that we are gaining in these classes and over our many years, then these virtuous minds will start to grow and develop, and our habituation to them will strengthen. And then the way that we interact with others and the impact we have on the lives of others and the way we deal with difficulties will be transformed. And then the last point, just to add, is when you start your meditation, to generate strength of mind, turn your mind to your teachers and to your yidam, and make sincere requests for their blessings, that we may progress on the path through developing the minds of bodhicitta and the wisdom realizing emptiness, in order that we can be of greatest benefit to others. Engage in the meditations as we've had described here, combining bodhicitta with the cultivation of the wisdom realizing emptiness. And then throughout our daily activities, remind ourselves of the motivation that we cultivated in the morning, and ensure this way that the minds of bodhicitta and the wisdom understanding emptiness has an impact on how we relate to others and events throughout the day. So we'll finish there for this weekend. If you have some questions, then please feel free to ask. Okay, then thank you, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.